Hello again, everybody. My name is Jonathan Hammock, and today I'm going to do a presentation on the film industry, and specifically, I'm going to talk about a director named Tarshim Singha, who is a director, a pretty famous director, but mainly he focused on the aspect of color. Tarshim, he has 4 films under his belt right now. The first one that everybody probably is familiar with is The Cell, featuring Jennifer Lopez. But this movie, The Cell, is basically about an investigator who goes into the mind of a serial killer and tries to find a missing persons. Yeah, Tarshim, his way of directing with color is phenomenal. He is the only director that I know that uses color in this way to tell his stories and to make his stories more vivid and alive. And all that. This movie was very, very twisted and dark, being in the mind of a serial killer. So to convey his difference between the real world and the dream world, he used colors. While in the real world everything was a muted color, every time they entered into the mind of the serial killer, it was very vivid with bright reds and blues and greens and yellows, mainly primary colors to show the difference between the two worlds and all that. Even though Tarshim is an amazing director, he has an amazing visual eye that can capture the audience, and also his ideas and creatures that he creates in these worlds also are very amazing. Then after the success of his first film, The Cell, Tarshim goes on to make his second film called The Fall, which takes place in a little hospital in California. And this story is basically about how a man who tries to get a little girl to help him commit suicide by telling her these marvelous tales about these men and their journey and how they are out to get the bad man. And in this film, just as well as he did in the first one, he uses the color to distinct from the two different worlds, how their world is more of browns and grays, while the story world is a lush colors of blues and reds and greens as well and all that. But this story he took from his first movie that he made. Instead of being a more darker one, it was a little bit more on the brighter side, seeing that the end result was about the hero succeeding and in his triumphs. Tarsim's third movie, which also is high up on my totem pole, is The Immortals. Now, this movie is about the Greek mythology and gods, and he got the chance to tell a superhero story using like Greek mythology, but instead of portraying the Greeks as how they portrayed themselves, he tried to use the Renaissance and what the Renaissance artists portrayed what the Greeks did, which gave him this cool stylized look and his own unique look to the movie that hasn't been done before in film, which he is really good at using color to tell stories in different ways. Tarsim's fourth and latest movie, Mirror Mirror, which is a comedy, shows and tells the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which is an old story and it's been told a lot, but he uses color this time to tell the story his way, which he always done in his past films. Now, this movie is a comedy, which is out of the norm of what he normally does, which is like dark, creepy, and twisted, which he does a lot, but this movie shows that his diversity and his willing to change and bend and flex to try new things and grow as a director and as an artist as well. Now, I'm not just going to list what he's done, but I just want you guys to actually go out and see these movies because they're visually compelling, and his use of color and primary color to tell stories, we can really learn from him as artists and develop a visual eye to better our artwork as well. And that's really all I have to share for you guys this day. I had a wonderful time. My name is Jonathan Hammock again, and you guys have a nice day. Thank you very much.